Poch comes, or like, what are you thinking about Joao Felix? Do you think that he's staying, or do you think that he's leaving?
I don't know. Right now, like even before Potts joined, it was a bit of a question mark because he's one of those. He looks very good on the ball. Like I can trust him to beat players, get the ball into good areas of the pitch. Just the end product isn't there, and it's like he plays with his head down too much and is a little bit selfish in that regard. And I
Yeah.
do think Poch can get a lot more out of him. I wouldn't say anything negative about Felix. To be honest, I still think he's been our best attacker since January. But in terms of spending 85 to 100 million on him, Chelsea aren't really too sure about that right now. And I don't really blame them with the amount of areas that we're still looking to improve on as well. I'm hearing maybe we could go in for a second loan deal because I don't even know if Atletico want to take him back either.
They would be open to another loan deal. I'm sure they would, like, because there doesn't seem to be any noise coming out from there saying, "Oh yeah, he's definitely coming back." You know when players are out on loan, usually clubs are just like, "Yeah, cool, like he's coming back." Like I've not really heard
No, but they've
anything.
been unbeaten since then. So it's
Yeah.
like they're moving like they don't even need him right now.
So yeah,
I think a loan deal for another year with an option or obligation to buy after a certain amount of appearances. I think that's the most realistic move. Because I don't think Chelsea are going to put all that money in for him right now. Like he's looked great, but I don't think he's done enough for Chelsea to justify that sort of money right now, especially with all the other areas that we need to work on.
I just don't think Joao Felix is worth that money anyway. Like I think he's the best young player in the world in terms of ability, but it's like ability, what does it mean, bro? Like I still think that he hasn't played in a team that suits his skill set. If he was at Manchester City, I think people would say he's the best player in the world. Do you know what I mean? But it's like you can't overlook styles when it comes to players, bro. Like when you look at him, yeah, he played for um Atleti, which one of the worst footballing sides like I've ever seen in my life. And then he's gone to Chelsea that are playing with absolutely no confidence right now, no style of play, no system, and he's expected to really set the world alight on his own. It's not really gonna happen. Like, so I do kind of feel sorry for him, but at the same time, I think he's been ill-advised because signing such a long deal at Atleti was a bad idea, and going to Chelsea was a bad idea. It's like, who's picking this guy's career paths?
I actually, that was one of the first things in my head when he first joined. I was like, "Raw, you're looking for a place to try and make a name for yourself, and you've come to us. I don't know what you want from us because we're not going to be able to give you any service, any nothing." And I agree with you on that as well because I think it's like ever since Eden Hazard's left, we're looking for our own Eden Hazard, someone who can literally just carry the attack on his back and then just like make do with all the shit that's around him. But you're not going to find yourself another Eden Hazard. It is now about systems. It's not about individuals anymore. And we're looking for Joao Felix to be that individual for us that can drive with the ball, score goals, assist, do literally everything. And I agree with you. He's not really that sort of guy. I think he's a great dribbler. I think he's a good finisher, in spite of the fact that he's hit the woodwork a bunch of times. I only
Joao
look at it like
Felix. I think he's a underrated passer. I don't think he's a great finisher. Like I think he's a scorer of great goals, but not a great goal scorer in it. And I think he's always going to be that kind of player where he'll score some absolute worldies, but he won't get you consistently. Like he don't get buckets, bro. He's not that. He's
I don't
not
think
that
either
kind
of
of player.
them's been that consistent for us either. But I just think the finishings looked a little bit better. Creatively, like he just keeps his head down too much. So there's not really a lot to go off in terms of him creative at Chelsea. Finishing, I'm looking at and it's like you're just millimeters off. You're millimeters off being our top goal scorer since you joined us. You're not shooting wide or anything. You're just hitting the bar too many times. And I think that's something that you can work on. So, like, I get what you're saying. Right now, though, we haven't seen enough from him creatively. He holds on to the ball for way too long.
But the thing is, it's a weird one because he's small in stature, yeah. And I find that smaller players, yeah, like him, that play in the position he plays in, they do play like that, a sense with their head down. It's because, bro, like, do you know how hard it is to play football, yeah? with your head up when you like to hold on to the ball. You can only do it if you've got mad strength. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when you're strong, you can put your foot on the ball and you can just lean on people. Like when you're like him, like players like Gabriel Jesus and that, they got good feet, but because they're so small, yeah, they have to keep moving all the time because they get slapped, they get clamped, bruv. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the time they're trying to evade challenges and they're trying to wriggle around and that. So they can't really slow the game down like that because they'll get fucking split in half. Like, do you know what I mean? Like when you look at someone like Grealish, yeah, he can slow down, yeah, because his legs are huge, bro. Like you watch him play. Same with Hazard. Like he was short, but he had massive legs, and he would just literally just stick his bum out and just lean into people and spin off them. Like a lot of these players don't have the physique here to play a game at a slow tempo because they'll get cleaned out in this league, bruv. Like cleaned out. Like you can do it in other leagues, put your foot on the ball and head up and all that. In the Premier League, if you take more than 3 touches, yeah, and you ain't got nothing about you, your legs are gone. Like that is it. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like everything he's doing
Felix too much as well. That's a very good point.
Everything he's doing almost has to be a bit more rushed because if it's not, you get smashed. But when you rush things, you don't make the right decision most of the time, innit? And that's just what it is. I think he'll get the confidence to kind of play at his own pace, but he's not there yet, innit? He's adapting. He's just adapting to the game, bro. And I think you see it with these foreign players. We're seeing it with Anthony now. It took Anthony a while to adapt to the Premier League, and now it looks like he's finally getting the hang of it, and he's starting to put in consistently high-level performances. But at the beginning, everyone was like, oh, the guy's shit, like this, that, and the other. And now all of a sudden, he's scoring goals. He's getting involved in games, and people are starting to see that he's coming into his own. I think if Felix gets time, because remember, he's only come in January, bruv, and we're in April. So it's not like
that's why I don't want to write him off so early because I can see the quality. I don't look at Felix and say, you're bringing nothing to me. It's like, no, I can see what you're bringing 3 to 4 months into a new league, a league that's very tough to adapt in for especially a player of that sort of physique. So I'm with you on that, but it's because he came in January. It's like there's not really a lot of time to look at you and think, are you worth spending 85 million on, yes or no? He needs a lot more time, and I agree with you. That's why, again, you go back to it, the loan is the best move for all parties. He gets another year to prove himself in the Premier League. If he continues to improve, which
and gets a pre-season because he's probably not up to Premier League fitness levels as well because it's a different game.
Yeah, no one in the squad is. Lampard said that last week. No one's got the fitness levels right now.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he said the fitness levels at Chelsea are terrible. Probably because Potter's given us a day off after every single loss or something. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Really not surprised. But that builds into it too. He's going to have a competent manager to work with for the first time as well. That builds into it as well. For me,
if they're not fit, Poch is going to fuck them up, man, because Poch has man running, bro. So if man are not fit, bro, Pochettino, yo,
because we've got guys.
Remember Poch's Chelsea, yeah? I mean Poch's Tottenham and the way they used to press, bruv. If you think you're not fit under Pochettino, it's long. I can't lie, bruv.